In the year 2150, Terra, Earth, is on the brink of collapse. Overpopulation, resource depletion, and climate change have pushed humanity to the edge. The once blue skies are now a perpetual gray, choked with pollution and dust. The oceans, once teeming with life, are now barren wastelands, their waters acidic and lifeless. The forests have been decimated, replaced by sprawling megacities that stretch as far as the eye can see. The world's governments, in a desperate attempt to restore order, have united under a single banner: the Global Federation. The Global Federation's headquarters, a towering skyscraper in the heart of Neo-Tokyo, is a symbol of humanity's last hope. Inside, the world's brightest minds work tirelessly to find solutions to the myriad problems facing their planet. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a brilliant astrophysicist, is one of them. She is known for her groundbreaking work in decoding ancient alien signals and her unwavering dedication to finding a way to save Terra. One fateful day, as Dr. Vasquez and her team pore over data from deep space observatories, they detect something unusual. A signal, unlike anything they have ever seen before, is detected by the Hubble X telescope. The signal is a series of complex patterns, a symphony of light and dark pulses that seem to dance in a mesmerizing rhythm. The team is baffled. Nothing in their databases matches this pattern. Dr. Vasquez's eyes widen as she examines the data. "This is unlike anything we've ever encountered," she says, her voice tinged with excitement and apprehension. "It's not random noise. It's structured, deliberate. It's a message." The Global Federation's leaders are immediately alerted. They gather in the Grand Conference Room, a vast space filled with holographic displays and advanced communication equipment. The room is abuzz with activity as scientists, military strategists, and political leaders discuss the implications of the mysterious signal. Captain Marcus Reed, a decorated veteran of the Terran Defense Force, is among those present. His rugged features and piercing blue eyes command respect. He has seen the worst of humanity's conflicts and has always been at the forefront of the fight to protect Terra. Now he is tasked with leading the expedition to uncover the truth behind the signal. "Dr. Vasquez, what do we know?" Captain Reed asks, his voice steady and authoritative. Dr. Vasquez steps forward, her expression serious. "The signal is a series of complex patterns, Captain. It's not random. It's a message, and it contains coordinates to a distant planet. But that's not all. There's a warning embedded in the signal. The Blackened battle is coming." A murmur runs through the room as the gravity of the warning sinks in. The Blackened battle. It sounds ominous, foreboding. What could it mean? Captain Reed's eyes narrow. "We need to know more. We need to find out what this Blackened battle is and how it affects us. We need to send a team to investigate those coordinates." The Global Federation's leaders nod in agreement. The stakes are too high to ignore. They decide to assemble an elite team of scientists, soldiers, and engineers, led by Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez. The team will embark on a mission to uncover the truth behind the mysterious signal and the Blackened battle. Preparations begin immediately. The Starship Odyssey, one of the most advanced vessels in the Terran fleet, is readied for the journey. The Odyssey is equipped with the latest technology, capable of traversing vast distances in space. Its crew is a diverse group of experts, each bringing unique skills and knowledge to the mission. As the team gathers on the Odyssey, there is a palpable sense of anticipation and anxiety. They know that their mission is crucial, that the fate of Terra may hang in the balance. But they also know that they are venturing into the unknown, facing dangers they cannot even begin to imagine. Captain Reed stands on the bridge, looking out at the stars. He knows that this mission will be unlike any other he has ever undertaken. The mysterious signal, the ominous warning, the unknown dangers that lie ahead, all of it weighs heavily on his mind. But he is determined. He has always been driven by a sense of duty and a desire to protect his home. And now, more than ever, he feels the weight of that responsibility. Dr. Vasquez joins him on the bridge, her eyes reflecting the same determination. "We'll find answers, Captain. We have to." Captain Reed nods, his expression resolute. "We will, Dr. Vasquez. We have to." As the Odyssey prepares to embark on its journey, the crew gathers in the main hold. Captain Reed addresses them, his voice carrying a sense of urgency and resolve. "Men and women of the Odyssey, we are about to embark on a mission unlike any other. We have been given a mysterious signal from deep space, a signal that contains a warning and coordinates to a distant planet. We don't know what we'll find, but we do know that it could hold the key to our survival. We are Terra's last hope. We must succeed." The crew listens intently, their faces reflecting a mix of determination and apprehension. They know that their mission is crucial, that the fate of their home planet rests in their hands. But they also know that they are not alone. They have each other, and they have a mission to complete. As the Odyssey lifts off from Neo-Tokyo, the crew watches as their home planet recedes into the distance. The journey ahead is uncertain, filled with unknown dangers and challenges. But they are ready. They are the best humanity has to offer, and they are determined to uncover the truth behind the mysterious signal and the Blackened battle. The journey has begun, and the fate of Terra hangs in the balance. The Starship Odyssey glided through the vast expanse of space, its sleek hull reflecting the distant stars. Inside, the crew bustled with activity, each member focused on their tasks. Captain Marcus Reed stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing their destination, a set of coordinates in a distant sector of the galaxy. The mysterious signal had led them here, and the weight of their mission pressed heavily on his shoulders. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the expedition's lead scientist, joined him on the bridge. Her eyes were alight with curiosity and determination. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates," she said, her voice tinged with excitement. "We should be able to detect the source of the signal soon." Reed nodded, his expression serious. "Keep me informed, Doctor. I want to know the moment we find something." As the Odyssey neared the coordinates, the crew felt a mixture of anticipation and unease. They were venturing into uncharted territory, and the unknown always brought a sense of danger. The ship's sensors began to pick up readings, and the data streamed across the displays. "Captain, we're detecting a massive energy signature," Dr. Vasquez reported, her eyes scanning the data. "It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's enormous." Reed's attention sharpened. On screen, the main holographic display flickered to life, revealing a colossal structure floating in space. It was a monolith, black and imposing, its surface etched with intricate patterns that seemed to pulse with a dark energy. The monolith was massive, easily the size of a small moon, and it emitted a powerful energy field that shimmered around it. The crew gasped in awe and apprehension. "What is that?" one of the engineers muttered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the ship's systems. Dr. Vasquez's eyes widened. It's incredible. This is ancient technology, Captain. Far beyond anything we've ever encountered." Reed nodded, his mind racing. "Prepare the landing party. We need to get a closer look." The landing party consisted of Captain Reed, Dr. Vasquez, and a team of soldiers and engineers. They boarded a shuttlecraft and descended towards the monolith. As they approached, the sheer scale of the structure became even more apparent. It was a relic from a long-lost civilization, a testament to their advanced technology and knowledge. The shuttlecraft landed on a flat, smooth surface near the base of the monolith. The landing party disembarked, their eyes scanning the alien landscape. The surface was cold and metallic, with strange symbols etched into it. The air was thin, but breathable, and the team's suits provided them with the necessary protection. Captain Reed took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their mission. "Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what we're dealing with here." Dr. Vasquez stepped forward, her eyes filled with wonder. "Look at this," she said, pointing to the symbols on the surface. "These are unlike any language we've ever seen. But there's a pattern here, a rhythm." As she spoke, the symbol seemed to pulse with a faint glow, as if responding to her presence. The team exchanged glances, their unease growing. They had entered the realm of the unknown, and the monolith's ancient technology was unlike anything they had ever encountered. Suddenly, a section of the monolith's surface began to shift, revealing an entrance. The team watched in awe as the massive door slid open, revealing a dark, cavernous interior. The energy field around the monolith shimmered, as if welcoming them inside. Captain Reed nodded to his team. "Let's move. Stay together and keep your wits about you." The landing party entered the monolith, their footsteps echoing in the vast, empty chamber. The interior was a labyrinth of corridors and rooms, each filled with ancient technology and strange, glowing symbols. The air was thick with the scent of ozone, and the walls seemed to hum with a low, constant vibration. As they ventured deeper into the monolith, they encountered a series of holographic displays. Each display showed scenes from the ancient civilization's history, depicting their rise to power and their eventual downfall. The Lumina, who wielded light-based technology, and the Umbra, who harnessed the power of darkness, were locked in a fierce battle. The conflict was known as the Blackened battle, and it had reshaped the galaxy. Dr. Vasquez studied the holograms intently. "This is incredible," she said, her voice filled with awe. "We're seeing the history of an entire civilization. The Blackened battle. It was a cosmic event. It changed everything." Captain Reed nodded, his mind racing. "We need to find out more. We need to understand what caused the Blackened battle and how it affects us." As they continued their exploration, the team encountered a series of challenges. Ancient traps and puzzles guarded the monolith's secrets, and the team had to use their wits and skills to overcome them. Each obstacle tested their resolve and determination, but they pressed on, driven by the knowledge that their mission was crucial. Finally, they reached a central chamber, a vast space filled with a glowing crystalline structure. The structure pulsed with energy, and the team could feel its power radiating through the air. "This is it," Dr. Vasquez said, her voice filled with excitement. "This is the source of the signal. This is where we'll find the answers we need." Captain Reed nodded, his expression resolute. "Let's get to work. We don't have much time." As the team began to decode the crystalline structure, they felt a sense of urgency. The Blackened battle was coming, and they needed to understand its implications. The fate of Terra hung in the balance, and the answers they sought lay within the ancient monolith. The journey had only just begun, and the challenges ahead were unknown. But the crew of the Odyssey was determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. The central chamber of the monolith was a breathtaking sight. The crystalline structure at its heart pulsed with an otherworldly energy, casting a soft, ethereal glow across the room. Dr. Elena Vasquez and her team moved with purpose, their eyes reflecting a mix of awe and determination. Captain Marcus Reed stood watch, his hand resting on the butt of his sidearm, ready for any threat that might emerge from the shadows. Dr. Vasquez approached the crystalline structure, her eyes scanning the intricate patterns etched into its surface. "This is incredible," she whispered, her fingers tracing the glowing lines. "The energy signature is unlike anything I've ever encountered. It's almost alive." Captain Reed nodded, his expression serious. "What does it mean, Doctor?" Vasquez turned to him, her eyes filled with a sense of urgency. "I believe this is a repository of knowledge, Captain. The ancient civilization that built this monolith left behind their history, their technology, and their warnings. If we can decode it, we might find the answers we need." Reed nodded, his mind racing. "Let's get to work. We don't have much time." The team set to work, using their advanced equipment to scan and analyze the crystalline structure. The data streamed across their displays, revealing layers of complex information. As they delved deeper, they began to uncover the history of the ancient civilization that had once thrived in the galaxy. The holographic displays flickered to life, showing scenes from the past. The Lumina, a race of beings who wielded light-based technology, had built a vast and prosperous empire. Their cities were marvels of engineering, their technology far beyond anything humanity had ever achieved. But their power had attracted the attention of the Umbra, a dark and malevolent force that sought to harness the power of darkness. The Blackened battle had been a cataclysmic conflict, fought across the galaxy. The Lumina and the Umbra had clashed in a struggle for dominance, their powers creating a cosmic upheaval that reshaped the very fabric of space and time. The battle had been so intense that it had left a lingering energy signature, one that had traveled across the galaxy and reached Terra. Dr. Vasquez's eyes widened as she studied the holograms. "This is it, Captain." The Blackened battle was a cosmic event, a clash of light and darkness that reshaped the galaxy. The energy signature we detected, it's a remnant of that battle. It's growing stronger, and it's heading towards Terra. Reed's expression darkened. "What does that mean for us?" Vasquez sighed, her voice filled with concern. "It means that the Blackened battle is not over. The energy signature is a harbinger of a new conflict, one that could destroy Terra if we don't stop it." As the team continued to decode the crystalline structure, they uncovered more of the ancient civilization's history. They learned that the Lumina had created the monolith as a time capsule, preserving their knowledge and warning future generations about the Blackened battle. They had hidden away a powerful artifact known as the Heart of Shadows, the source of the Umbra's power, to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Captain Reed's eyes narrowed as he listened to Vasquez's explanation. The Heart of Shadows. That's what the signal was warning us about. We need to find it and contain it before it reaches Terra. Vasquez nodded, her expression resolute. But it won't be easy. The Heart of Shadows is a powerful artifact, and it's guarded by ancient traps and defenses. We'll need the help of the Lumina if we're going to succeed. Just then, the holographic displays flickered again, revealing a new scene. This time, it showed a group of Lumina survivors, descendants of the ancient civilization, who had been living in stasis for millennia. They had been waiting for a time when they could share their knowledge with a worthy successor. Captain Reed's eyes widened as he watched the hologram. "Doctor, is that?" Vasquez nodded, her eyes filled with hope. "Yes, Captain. Those are the Lumina survivors. They've been waiting for us. They can help us." The team exchanged glances, their hearts filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They had found the answers they needed, but the journey was far from over. The Blackened battle was coming, and they needed to act quickly to prevent it from destroying Terra. Captain Reed turned to his team, his voice filled with determination. "We have our mission, and we have the knowledge we need. Let's get back to the Odyssey and prepare for the next phase of our journey. We have a galaxy to save." As the team made their way back to the shuttlecraft, they felt a renewed sense of resolve. The ancient civilization's knowledge had given them a glimmer of hope, but the road ahead was fraught with danger. The Blackened battle was coming, and they needed to be ready. The journey had only just begun, and the fate of Terra hung in the balance. The journey back to the Odyssey was filled with a sense of urgency. Captain Marcus Reed and his team moved swiftly through the monolith's labyrinthine corridors, their minds racing with the implications of the ancient civilization's knowledge. The Lumina survivors, descendants of the ancient civilization, had been living in stasis for millennia, waiting for a time when they could share their knowledge with a worthy successor. The team knew that forming an alliance with the Lumina was their best chance to prevent the Blackened battle from destroying Terra. As they approached the shuttlecraft, the monolith's energy field shimmered, and a section of the wall slid open. Inside, the team found a group of Lumina survivors, their forms glowing with a soft, ethereal light. The Lumina were tall and slender, with skin that seemed to shimmer like starlight. Their eyes were deep and wise, reflecting the ancient knowledge they carried. Captain Reed stepped forward, his expression respectful. "We are the crew of the Odyssey, from Terra. We seek your knowledge and guidance to prevent the Blackened battle from reaching our world." The Lumina leader, a tall and regal figure named Ilara, stepped forward. Her voice was melodic, filled with a sense of ancient wisdom. "We have been waiting for worthy successors, Captain Reed. The Blackened battle is a threat to all of creation. We must work together to contain the Heart of Shadows and prevent its destructive power from reaching Terra." Dr. Elena Vasquez joined Reed, her eyes filled with curiosity and determination. "We have studied your history and technology. We believe we can work together to find the Heart of Shadows and contain its power." Ilara nodded, her expression serious. "The Heart of Shadows is a powerful artifact created by the Umbra to harness the power of darkness. It was hidden away by the Lumina to prevent its misuse. But now, its energy signature is growing stronger, and it is heading towards Terra. We must act quickly." Captain Reed nodded, his mind racing. "We need to form a plan. The Odyssey is equipped with advanced technology, but we will need your knowledge and guidance to navigate the challenges ahead." Ilara smiled, her eyes reflecting a sense of hope. "We will join you on your journey, Captain Reed. Together, we will find the Heart of Shadows and contain its power. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rests in our hands." With the Lumina survivors on board, the Odyssey set a course for the coordinates embedded in the mysterious signal. The journey ahead was fraught with danger, but the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had formed an alliance with the ancient Lumina, and together they would face the challenges that lay ahead. As the Odyssey traveled through the vast expanse of space, the crew and the Lumina survivors worked together to prepare for their mission. The Lumina shared their knowledge of ancient technology and strategies, while the crew provided their expertise in modern science and engineering. The combination of their skills and knowledge created a powerful synergy, one that would be crucial in their quest to find the Heart of Shadows. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez spent long hours with Ilara and her team, studying the ancient texts and holograms that contained the secrets of the Heart of Shadows. They learned about the artifact's origins, its powers, and the ancient traps and defenses that guarded it. The Lumina's knowledge was invaluable, providing the team with insights that would have taken years to uncover on their own. One day, as they studied the ancient texts, Dr. Vasquez made a startling discovery. "Captain, look at this," she said, pointing to a holographic display. "The Heart of Shadows is not just an artifact. It's a living entity, a manifestation of the Umbra's dark power. It feeds on fear and chaos, growing stronger with each conflict it causes." Captain Reed's eyes widened. "So the Blackened battle, it's not just a war. It's a way for the Heart of Shadows to grow stronger." Ilara nodded, her expression grave. "Yes, Captain. The Heart of Shadows must be contained before it reaches Terra. If it is allowed to unleash its full power, it will bring about a new age of darkness." As the Odyssey neared the coordinates, the crew felt a growing sense of unease. They knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but they were determined to succeed. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Captain Reed gathered the crew and the Lumina survivors in the main hold. "We are about to embark on the most dangerous part of our journey. The Heart of Shadows is a powerful artifact, and it will not be easy to contain. But we have the knowledge and the skills to succeed. We must work together, stay focused, and stay strong. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rests in our hands." The crew and the Lumina survivors nodded, their expressions resolute. They knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but they were ready. They had formed an alliance with the ancient Lumina, and together they would face the challenges that lay ahead. As the Odyssey approached the coordinates, the crew felt a growing sense of anticipation. They were about to face the greatest challenge of their lives, but they were ready. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were determined to succeed. The Odyssey glided through the starlit expanse, its advanced propulsion systems propelling it towards the distant coordinates. The crew and the Lumina survivors worked in tandem, their combined knowledge and skills creating a powerful synergy. Captain Marcus Reed and Dr. Elena Vasquez led the efforts, their determination unwavering as they navigated the challenges that lay ahead. The journey was long and arduous, filled with moments of tension and uncertainty. The crew faced numerous obstacles, from treacherous asteroid fields to mysterious cosmic phenomena. Each challenge tested their resolve, but they pressed on, driven by the knowledge that the fate of Terra hung in the balance. One particularly harrowing encounter came as they approached a region of space known as the Veil of Shadows. The area was filled with dark matter and energy, creating a dense fog that obscured their path. The Odyssey's sensors struggled to penetrate the veil, and the crew found themselves navigating blind. Captain Reeb stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the holographic display. "Dr. Vasquez, any ideas on how to get through this?" Dr. Vasquez studied the data, her brow furrowed in concentration. The ancient texts mentioned a similar phenomenon. They called it the Shadow Veil. It's a region of space where the Heart of Shadow's energy signature is particularly strong. We need to use the luminous light-based technology to cut through the darkness. Ilara, the Lumina leader, stepped forward. "We can use our ancient devices to create a beacon of light. It will pierce the veil and guide us through." With Ilara's guidance, the crew activated the Lumina's ancient devices, creating a brilliant beam of light that cut through the darkness. The Odyssey followed the beacon, its path illuminated by the glow. The crew felt a sense of relief as they emerged from the Veil of Shadows, their journey continuing. As they ventured deeper into uncharted territory, the crew encountered remnants of the ancient war between the Lumina and the Umbra. They passed by derelict starships, their hulls scarred by the fierce battles that had raged across the galaxy. The crew felt a sense of awe and sorrow, knowing that they were walking in the footsteps of a long-lost civilization. Dr. Vasquez spent hours studying the ancient texts and holograms, piecing together the history of the Blackened battle. She discovered that the conflict had been far more complex than they had initially thought. The Lumina and the Umbra had been locked in a struggle for dominance, their powers creating a cosmic upheaval that had reshaped the galaxy. The Heart of Shadows was created by the Umbra to harness the power of darkness, Dr. Vasquez explained to Captain Reed. It was a weapon of immense power, capable of causing unimaginable destruction. The Lumina fought to contain it, but they knew that its power could never be fully destroyed. They hid it away, hoping that it would never be found. Captain Reed nodded, his expression serious. "And now, it's heading towards Terra. We need to find it and contain it before it's too late." As the Odyssey continued its journey, the crew faced numerous challenges. They encountered hostile forces, remnants of the Umbra who sought to reclaim the Heart of Shadows for their own nefarious purposes. The team fought valiantly, using their combined knowledge and skills to overcome each obstacle. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez formed a close bond, driven by their shared determination to save Terra. They spent long hours together, discussing strategies and sharing insights. Their mutual respect and trust grew stronger with each passing day, creating a sense of unity among the crew. One evening, as they studied the ancient texts, Dr. Vasquez made a startling discovery. "Captain, look at this," she said, pointing to a holographic display. "The Heart of Shadows is not just an artifact. It's a living entity, a manifestation of the Umbra's dark power. It feeds on fear and chaos, growing stronger with each conflict it causes." Captain Reed's eyes widened. "So, the Blackened battle. It's not just a war. It's a way for the Heart of Shadows to grow stronger." Ilara nodded, her expression grave. "Yes, Captain. The Heart of Shadows must be contained before it reaches Terra. If it is allowed to unleash its full power, it will bring about a new age of darkness." As the Odyssey neared the coordinates, the crew felt a growing sense of anticipation. They knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but they were ready. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were determined to succeed. Captain Reed gathered the crew and the Lumina survivors in the main hold. "We are about to embark on the most dangerous part of our journey. The Heart of Shadows is a powerful artifact, and it will not be easy to contain. But we have the knowledge and the skills to succeed. We must work together, stay focused, and stay strong. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rests in our hands." The crew and the Lumina survivors nodded, their expressions resolute. They knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but they were ready. They had formed an alliance with the ancient Lumina, and together they would face the challenges that lay ahead. As the Odyssey approached the coordinates, the crew felt a growing sense of anticipation. They were about to face the greatest challenge of their lives. But they were ready. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were determined to succeed. The Odyssey approached the coordinates with a sense of foreboding. The crew and the Lumina survivors were tense, their eyes fixed on the holographic display as it revealed a desolate, war-torn planet. The planet's surface was scarred by ancient battles, its atmosphere thick with dust and debris. It was a haunting reminder of the Blackened battle and the devastation it had wrought. Captain Marcus Reed stood on the bridge, his expression resolute. "This is it," he said, his voice steady. "The heart of shadows is here. We need to be ready for anything." Dr. Elena Vasquez nodded, her eyes reflecting a mix of determination and apprehension. The ancient texts mentioned this planet. It was the site of one of the fiercest battles between the Lumina and the Umbra. The heart of shadows was hidden here to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Ilara, the Lumina leader, stepped forward. "We must be cautious. The Umbra's remnants may still linger here, guarding the heart of shadows." The Odyssey descended towards the planet's surface, its advanced systems scanning for threats. As they landed, the crew and the Lumina survivors prepared for the journey ahead. They knew that the heart of shadows was not just an artifact. It was a living entity, capable of immense destruction. The landing party, led by Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez, disembarked from the Odyssey and set foot on the desolate planet. The surface was barren and harsh, with jagged rocks and deep crevices. The air was thin but breathable, and the crew's suits provided them with the necessary protection. As they ventured deeper into the planet, they encountered remnants of the ancient war. Derelict starships and broken machinery littered the landscape, a testament to the fierce battles that had taken place here. The crew felt a sense of awe and sorrow, knowing that they were walking in the footsteps of a long-lost civilization. Dr. Vasquez's eyes widened as she examined the ancient ruins. "These are the remnants of the Lumina's defenses. They built these structures to protect the heart of shadows." Captain Reed nodded, his expression serious. "We need to find the heart of shadows and contain it. Let's move." The team pressed on, their journey taking them through treacherous terrain and ancient ruins. They encountered numerous traps and defenses, remnants of the Lumina's efforts to protect the heart of shadows. With Ilara's guidance, they navigated these obstacles, their determination unwavering. As they approached the heart of the ancient complex, the air grew thick with a palpable sense of danger. The energy signature of the heart of shadows grew stronger, and the crew could feel its malevolent presence. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a massive, shadowy entity emerged from the depths. Its form was amorphous, shifting and writhing like a living shadow. The crew and the Lumina survivors drew their weapons, their eyes fixed on the entity. Ilara stepped forward, her voice filled with determination. "This is the guardian of the heart of shadows. We must defeat it to reach the artifact." Captain Reed nodded, his expression resolute. "Let's do this." The battle was fierce and intense. The shadowy entity was powerful, its attacks swift and relentless. The crew and the Lumina survivors fought valiantly, using their combined knowledge and skills to combat the entity. Dr. Vasquez and Ilara worked together, using ancient Lumina technology to create a containment field around the heart of shadows. The entity's attacks grew more intense, but the team held their ground. Captain Reed led the charge, his determination unwavering. "Stay focused," he shouted. "We can do this." As the battle raged on, the containment field began to take shape. The heart of shadows, a dark, pulsating orb, was visible within the field. The entity's attacks grew more desperate, but the team's resolve remained unshaken. Finally, with a burst of light and energy, the containment field activated. The heart of shadows was trapped, its malevolent energy contained. The shadowy entity let out a final piercing scream before dissipating into nothingness. The crew and the luminous survivors stood in silence, their hearts pounding with the intensity of the battle. They had succeeded in containing the heart of shadows, but the cost had been high. Several members of the team had been injured, and the journey back to the Odyssey would be fraught with danger. Captain Reed turned to Dr. Vasquez and Ilara, his expression filled with gratitude. "We did it. We contained the heart of shadows." Dr. Vasquez nodded, her eyes reflecting a mix of relief and determination. "But our work is not done. We need to transport the heart of shadows back to Terra and ensure it remains contained." Ilara's expression was grave. "The heart of shadows is a powerful artifact. We must be vigilant. Its energy signature is still strong, and it will not be easily contained." As the team made their way back to the Odyssey, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. The heart of shadows was contained, but the journey was far from over. They had faced the Guardian and emerged victorious, but the true test lay ahead. Captain Reed gathered the crew and the luminous survivors in the main hold. "We've faced the Guardian and contained the heart of shadows, but our mission is not over. We need to transport the artifact back to Terra and ensure it remains contained. We must stay vigilant and stay strong. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rests in our hands." The crew and the luminous survivors nodded, their expressions resolute. They knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but they were ready. They had faced the Guardian and emerged victorious, and they were determined to see their mission through to the end. As the Odyssey lifted off from the desolate planet, the crew felt a sense of hope and determination. They had faced the greatest challenge of their lives and emerged victorious. The heart of shadows was contained, but the journey was far from over. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey back to Terra was a somber one. The crew of the Odyssey and the luminous survivors had faced unimaginable dangers and had emerged victorious, but the cost had been high. Many of the team members had been injured, and some had made the ultimate sacrifice. The weight of their losses hung heavy in the air, but their resolve remained unshaken. Captain Marcus Reed stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the stars as the Odyssey sped through space. He felt a deep sense of responsibility for the lives that had been lost and the sacrifices that had been made. The mission had been a success, but the journey had taken a toll on everyone. Dr. Elena Vasquez joined him on the bridge, her expression somber. "Captain, we did what we had to do. The heart of shadows is contained, and we've prevented it from reaching Terra. But the cost, it's been immense." Reed nodded, his voice filled with a mix of pride and sorrow. "I know, Doctor. We've lost good people, but their sacrifices were not in vain. They gave their lives to save Terra and the galaxy." Vasquez sighed, her eyes reflecting a sense of determination. "We need to honor their memory. We need to ensure that their sacrifices were not in vain." Captain Reed nodded, his expression resolute. We'll use the knowledge we've gained to rebuild Terra and prevent such a catastrophe from ever happening again." As the Odyssey approached Terra, the crew prepared for their return. The Global Federation had been informed of their success, and the world awaited their arrival with a mix of hope and apprehension. The heart of shadows was contained, but the journey had taken a toll on everyone. The Odyssey landed in Neo-Tokyo, the Global Federation's headquarters. The crew and the luminous survivors disembarked, their faces reflecting a mix of exhaustion and determination. They were hailed as heroes, but the weight of their losses was still fresh in their minds. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez led the team to the main conference room, where the Global Federation's leaders awaited their report. The room was filled with anticipation, and the crew could feel the weight of the world's expectations. Captain Reed addressed the assembly, his voice steady and resolute. We have succeeded in our mission. The heart of shadows is contained, and we have prevented it from reaching Terra. But the journey was not without cost. We have lost good people, and their sacrifices will not be forgotten. Dr. Vasquez stepped forward, her eyes reflecting a sense of determination. The knowledge we've gained from the ancient civilization is invaluable. We must use it to rebuild Terra and create a sustainable future. The heart of shadows is contained, but we must remain vigilant. Its energy signature is still strong, and it will not be easily contained. The Global Federation's leaders nodded, their expressions filled with gratitude and determination. They knew that the journey ahead would be long and arduous, but they were ready to face it. Captain Reed turned to the Lumina survivors, his expression filled with respect. Ilara and the rest of the Lumina, your knowledge and guidance have been invaluable. We could not have succeeded without you. Ilara nodded, her eyes reflecting a sense of peace. We have fulfilled our mission, Captain Reed. The heart of shadows is contained, and Terra is safe. But our work is not done. We must ensure that the knowledge of the ancient civilization is passed down through generations. We must create a new era of prosperity and hope. Captain Reed nodded, his expression resolute. We will honor the sacrifices made by our fallen comrades and use the knowledge we've gained to rebuild Terra. We will create a future where such a catastrophe never happens again. As the crew and the Lumina survivors left the conference room, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. The heart of shadows was contained, but the journey was far from over. They had faced unimaginable dangers and had emerged victorious. But the true test lay ahead. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez continued to lead the efforts to rebuild Terra, inspired by the sacrifices of their fallen comrades. They ensured that the knowledge of the ancient civilization was passed down through generations, shaping a new era of prosperity and hope. The heart of shadows remained contained, a symbol of the past and a warning for the future. Terra's future was uncertain, but with the lessons learned from the Blackened battle, humanity stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The crew of the Odyssey and the Lumina survivors had faced the greatest challenge of their lives and had emerged victorious. The heart of shadows was contained, but the journey was far from over. The fate of Terra and the galaxy rested in their hands, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Years passed, and Terra began to heal. The Global Federation, guided by the knowledge and technology from the ancient civilization, embarked on a massive restoration project. The once barren landscapes were gradually reclaimed by lush forests. The oceans began to teem with life again, and the skies cleared to reveal the blue that had been missing for so long. The world was on the path to recovery, but the memory of the Blackened battle and the sacrifices made by the crew of the Odyssey remained fresh in the minds of humanity. Captain Marcus Reed and Dr. Elena Vasquez continued to lead the efforts to rebuild Terra. Their bond, forged in the fires of their mission, had grown stronger over the years. They had become symbols of hope and resilience, inspiring generations to work towards a sustainable and prosperous future. The heart of shadows, contained and secured in a hidden facility deep beneath the Earth's surface, remained a constant reminder of the dangers that lay dormant. The Global Federation established a dedicated team to monitor the artifact, ensuring that its malevolent energy never escaped. The knowledge of the ancient civilization, preserved in the monolith, was studied and applied to create a new era of technological and environmental advancements. One day, as Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez stood on a hill overlooking a newly restored forest, they reflected on their journey. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and new growth. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the landscape. Captain Reed turned to Dr. Vasquez, his expression thoughtful. "Do you ever think about what might have happened if we hadn't found the heart of shadows?" Dr. Vasquez smiled, her eyes reflecting a sense of peace. "I think about it every day, Marcus. But we did find it, and we contained it. We saved Terra. And now we have the chance to build a better future." Reed nodded, his eyes filled with determination. We have to keep pushing forward. We have to ensure that the sacrifices made by our team were not in vain. Vasquez placed a hand on his arm, her expression gentle. We will, Marcus. We will honor their memory by creating a world they would be proud of. As the years went by, the story of the Odyssey and the Blackened battle became a legend. It was a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the indomitable spirit of humanity. Schools taught the history of the mission, and the names of the fallen were remembered with honor. The crew of the Odyssey became heroes, their legacy inspiring future generations to strive for a better world. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez continued to lead, their efforts focused on ensuring that the knowledge of the ancient civilization was used wisely. They oversaw the development of new technologies, the restoration of ecosystems, and the creation of a global society that valued sustainability and peace. One evening, as they stood on the balcony of their home, overlooking the vibrant city of Neo-Tokyo, Reed turned to Vasquez. "Do you ever miss the stars?" Vasquez smiled, her eyes reflecting a sense of nostalgia. "Every night. But I know that our journey was necessary. We had to save Terra, and we did." Reed nodded, his expression filled with pride. "We did. And now we have the chance to create a future where our children can look up at the stars and dream." Vasquez took his hand, her eyes filled with hope. "Let's make sure they have a world worth dreaming about." As the years passed, Terra continued to heal. The forests grew denser, the oceans clearer, and the skies bluer. The legacy of the Odyssey and the Blackened battle lived on, a testament to the resilience and determination of humanity. The Heart of Shadows remained contained, a symbol of the past and a warning for the future. Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez grew old, their lives filled with the knowledge that they had made a difference. They watched as new generations took up the mantle, inspired by their story and determined to build a better world. The journey had been long and fraught with danger, but it had been worth it. The crew of the Odyssey had faced the greatest challenge of their lives and had emerged victorious. The Heart of Shadows was contained, and Terra was on the path to recovery. The legacy of their mission lived on, a beacon of hope for future generations. As the sun set over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the restored landscape, Captain Reed and Dr. Vasquez stood hand in hand, their hearts filled with a sense of peace and accomplishment. They had faced the Blackened battle and had shaped Terra's future, and now they could look forward to a world filled with hope and possibility.